Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen, and today we're going to make galbijjim or braised short ribs. Short ribs are a very special dish in Korea. It's served on special occasions like birthdays and holidays like Thanksgiving or New Year's, and it's a favorite of our family. Usually, if you make galbijjim in a very traditional way, it takes a long time and has a lot of ingredients and is somewhat complicated. But today I'm going to show my version of galbijjim, which is a little more simplified and is easier to make, but still as tasty. So let's get started. When buying short ribs, it's really important to choose the one that has a lot of meat attached around the bone and in a very even way all around. Sometimes when you go to the butcher shop and you don't have a choice, you buy it in a package like this and you get some pieces with a lot more fat and no meat. In making galbijjim, I usually don't use these pieces. I would save them for galbitang, which is galbi-based soup, galbi soup. So I would remove the fat and just use the bone and the meat for galbitang. But for galbijjim, these are the kind of cuts that you really want. So before you start to cook these short ribs, I usually like to put them in the water and soak it for about 20 minutes. Because that way you can drain the blood and get all the sort of the bad things out of the blood, the bone part as well. So I'm going to I leave it like this for about 20 minutes. You can already see that the water is turning pink and the blood is coming out. So now we're going to make the basic marinade for the galbijjim. Of course, most important is the soy sauce. I add equal amount of pureed Asian pear. Again, same amount of chopped green onions. Lots of green onions because it really helps to take away that kind of the weird meaty smell of the beef. 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. I like to do 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. This is agave. Sort of rather than using granulated sugar, I like to use liquid form because it's really easier to mix, and sweet rice wine. And a little bit of ground pepper. You mix it well. And let it sit for a few minutes. Actually, in making the marinade, it's always best to taste it after a few minutes when all the sauces have been, mingled and settled together, rather than tasting it right away. It's hard to, it's not really accurate when you taste it right away because you don't really get that whole sweetness and the saltiness. But if you let it sit for a few minutes, and then you taste it, then you can add more salt or more sugar depending on your preference. So I'm gonna let it sit. So I'm going to show you how you make these dry mushrooms look like flowers. It's very simple and it's a very nice touch to make the galbijjim look a little more special. What you do is you make a cross, but when you cut in, you have to cut in at a 45-degree angle. And you cut on both sides like this. And then you make a cross. And there you are. So you get the nice flower-shaped mushrooms. You don't have to do it. I mean, it's not necessary, but it's a kind of a special touch. And in Korea, if you do it like this, everybody knows that you've actually put some effort into it. There you are. So mushrooms are ready. And the ones that, the remaining sections from the cutout sections from the mushroom, I like to just chop it a little bit into pieces so I can add it. Don't throw it away. I can add it to the galbijjim later. So to make the round radishes in this like nice round shapes, I'm going to show you how we cut it. Usually we do it because when you cut it into squares, the sharp edges, when you cook, it gets all broken away and it looks like somebody ate some pieces of it. So when you make the radishes into round shape, it remains like this. It keeps its shape longer and it's prettier, of course. So you take thick radish like this, and I usually cut it into 6 pieces. Or this time I think I'll do it like this. So you get this 6 pieces, and you take this, and you can already see sort of the round part of it, and the sharp corners, you round it out like that. Just a little bit. So when you just round out all the sharp corners, already it becomes a little more round and appetizing. You get a square one like this and do the same, round out the sharp corners, sharp edges. And then I like to sort of shape it a little more into round ball. Here. For the dry dates, I have it here as with the seeds. Traditionally, we used to remove the seeds by cutting through, and you can remove the seeds here. Now, just to save time, you don't have to remove the seeds. But if you have somebody that you're going to serve this for the elderly or somebody with poor teeth, then it's nice to remove them so they don't chew on the seeds. But I'm going to just do it with the, with the seeds in. So as you can see, the blood is out from the galbi, and it's nice and pink. And at the same time, I wash it, and I'm going to drain it. So I'm going to boil the short ribs. Make sure the water is boiling before you put the meat in. I'm going to boil this for about 5 minutes to get all the blood out and also to clean the bone as well. To cover. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay, let's see if the meat is boiling. Oh, so good. You can already see how the dirty blood and things from the bones are already out. Can you see? I'm going to take it out. So if you don't boil it first, you see all the dirty things, dirty blood that's come out in the soup. So it's really important to boil it first. So I'm going to wash the short ribs nice and clean. It's ready for the marinade. So we're going to add the marinade sauce to the really nicely clean short ribs here. Cover the short ribs. And because I like to use up the remaining sauce in the bowl, I add a little bit of water. Make sure that I get all the good seasoning. So I don't know if you can see, but the sauce should cover just not really fully like a soup, but just above the first layer of beef. And here I'm going to add, the remaining chopped mushrooms that we use from the cutout. I'm going to add the dates and the mushrooms. These items I'm adding now because it tastes really good to have them cook for a long time. The other vegetables, I'll add them later when it's almost done. going to cover and cook for about medium heat for about 30 minutes. So let's check on the short ribs. It's been about 30 minutes that it's been boiling. And look how delicious it looks. You can actually, the meat is still too firm, so you have to cook it a little bit longer. But at this time, I'm going to add the radishes. And the chestnuts and the ginkgo nuts. Sure that the sauce covers. Okay, so we're going to cover, and then on a little bit of a medium-low heat, we're going to let it cook for another 20 minutes. And hopefully it'll be ready by then. So the braised short ribs should be ready by now. Let's look at it. Ooh, look at that. Looks wonderful. Okay. You want to so all the radishes are cooked, ginkgo nuts, the chestnuts, mushrooms, dates, everything looks good. I wonder if the way you know whether the meat is done is you actually take it and you push it with your chopstick, and it should be really nice and firm, but yet at the same time soft. You don't want it to be too mushy, but you don't want it to be too hard. So I think this is perfect. So I'm going to plate it. I'm going to take all the meat first. Put the meat to the bottom. Then put some radishes and the chestnuts on top. find the ginkgo nuts. Pour some sauce. And sorry, I'm going to add some chopped pine nuts on top as a garnish, just to add a little more color. It's ready. Let's eat. So today I made galbijjim, one of your favorite.
Yes.
So I want you to try it and give me your honest opinion. Okay.
Okay.
See
I'm
if you
always honest.
if you like it. So let me give you a piece of the rib
Thank you.
and one chestnut. You like chestnut, right?
And wood too.
And radish. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
And I'm going to try chestnut, radish, and a little piece.
Good.
You sure?
Yes. Very sure.
Okay.
Chestnut. Chestnut is well done. Good. Now the main game.
I think the radish is really good. The sauce is really nice and sweet and tart. But how is the meat?
Good.
It's well cooked,
Well done.
soft, soft enough.
Very soft. Just a little chewy. Just good. Tastes good.
So think of today as your birthday,
Thank you.
since
Excellent.
I usually make this for your birthday.